wanted to talk about, it's the end of April, and we've had a very successful Be a Donor Month here in Ontario, which is part of our Ontario Trillium Gift of Life Network's campaign, so that we can encourage people from Ontario to register to be organ and tissue donors, and also just to share stories of those who have had transplants, those who have been living donors, and our deceased donor families that gave the altruistic true gift of life. Last week, I had the opportunity to speak in front of our district council because I was really happy to report that from the last time I spoke to them, I made a promise that Muskoka would be over 50% in registration rates. So what that means is that 50% of the people who are eligible to be organ and tissue donors, so that's anyone over the age of 16 and have a valid health card, have registered, which is amazing. Because right now the Ontario rate is 35. So I'll just quickly give you some numbers here, starting with my home, where I'm living here now in Gravenhurst. So in 2015, when I reported at the end of December, they were at 44%, and now we're at 51%, which has been a 7% increase. Bracebridge was at 49, so they were really close to hitting the 50%, but now they're at 56, and they're in one of the top 10 within Ontario, and they've showed an increase of 7% as well. And Huntsville was at 45% and is now at 52, which is also a 7% increase. If we look at all of Muskoka, which also includes Parry Sound, so looking at our district, Parry Sound Muskoka, that falls under our MP Scott Atchison, we're all over 50%. So it's really good news. It shows the kindness of Muskokians, if that's a proper word, or people from Muskoka, and that our campaign has worked.
That's good.
But not done. I challenged them again.
Well, Sandra, I just want to say that's such a good news because, you know, you and I have been working together for many years in bringing more awareness to organ donation in the area. So, you know, as a fellow advocate, I'm quite pleased to hear this. You know, again, I think it's important that we discuss the idea of how to become an organ donor. I know Scott Aitchison has been working with other MPs to try to add this to, rather than not be a donor, you're automatically a donor, then you opt out instead, which is, you know, a hopeful thing we move forward to. But for now, how can people make sure that they are an organ donor?
So let me go back to your thing that you just stated there, because those are two key topics that people might be interested in. So they might have followed the news with Nova Scotia converting to presumed consent, which means that you're automatically signed up as an organ and tissue donor unless you opt out of. And that was part of a national study that we wanted to show that with education and timing to prepare people for it. And so far it's been successful. But also too, we haven't implemented in all the other provinces yet, but it's something that's being looked at. So they want to look at the data and see what's happening in Nova Scotia. Scott's actually working with Len Weber, who's an MP out in Alberta, and he has a bill that's trying to get passed about having us being able to register as part of our income taxes, which actually is something I thought about in 2006, looking at different options. But Len has really worked on this, and he's got it as a private member's bill. And I think it's, if we could double check with Scott, but I'm pretty sure it's in its second, almost close to its third reading. So that will be another way. But here in Ontario, you just need to go to beadonor.ca. You need to have your health card with you. And it just takes 2 minutes. But the most important thing after that, though, James, is that you need to tell your family. You need to tell your family what your wishes are, because even though the hospital will know by looking at your health card records that you have registered to be an organ donor, they can use that as a tool for the discussion they have with your family but it will still be your family that will be able to honor your wishes. So that's why we say it's very important to have that conversation.
Absolutely. Important discussion to have around the dinner table or anytime really at home to make people aware that you do want to help other Ontarians, have access to your organs if you do die, and they can continue to live a happy life. Somebody like Sandra, who we're talking to right now, who is the recipient of an organ donation. So
yeah, I'm very fortunate. I'm celebrating 24 years with my liver. But I'm also aware that there's currently 1,600 people waiting, and sadly, one every 3 days somebody dies. So that's why, like organ donation, like we have the innovation and we have the hospitals and we have the surgeons and we have the technology, and it's amazing what we have, but without organ donors we can't save lives. So I had an opportunity to speak at a high school last week online with virtual learning. And that's our goal, is to get the message out to the youth because they can have those conversations. We're hoping that they'll share it amongst their friends, like when they go get their driver's license that they've registered, but also sort of have those conversations with their parents who may have been hesitant to register, and just sharing the word around. So, our goal is just to get people to think about it, right? Like, unfortunately, we're talking about end of life and death, and just like, people don't like doing their taxes, they don't like preparing a will, they don't like preparing end of life wishes. It's part of life, and it's something we need to do. So we're just asking to, decide what you want to do, make a decision, register, tell your family, and then just live your best life.
Well, Sandra, I am happy to be one to help promote that message here and to our viewers, and I appreciate you taking the time to tell us this bit of good news, and hopefully this will also, get people motivated to also sign up as organ donors. So, Sandra, thank you very much for taking the time today.
James, one quick thing, please. I just wanted to thank all the people from Muskoka Gift of Life Association, all the volunteers that have helped, and all of our local politicians and everyone that's helped make us successful. And thank you to your TV station there, your TV Muskoka, and your personal support, James, of this cause.